Hello, sunshines, and welcome to deValiante Plays Beacon Pines by Hiding Spot. In this creepy, cute adventure set within a mysterious book, you play as a little fawn named Luca, who you will help guide through the tumultuous changes happening in the sleepy little town of Beacon Pines. If you want to see more games from this channel, drop a like and a follow and tell me in the comments what you want to see me play next. Warning! This video contains strong language and imagery that some may find disturbing. Discretion is advised. Now, without further ado, let's get started.
Chapter 7. The Interrogation of Hiram Tolliver. Still unconscious, Mr. Tolliver slumped heavily in a shoddy old chair. His hands were bound with rope, his feet tied with some loose string. The kids huddled in a circle, discussing their plan. One thing was certain, they couldn't just let Mr. Tolliver go. They needed to know what he was doing in Luca's house. After some deliberation, it was decided.
Let's do hard cop.
They'd run the classic good cop, hard cop interrogation. Rollo brandished a steely gaze. I've got this. Read about it 100 times. Rollo swaggered past the chair which propped up the slumping Hiram Tolliver. Without even looking at his captive, he began with a long, blustery drawl.
Well, Mr. Tolliver.
Mr. Tolliver remained motionless. Rollo spun around to face him. He'd clearly expected to rouse Mr. Tolliver with his booming voice.
Mr. Tolliver?
Beck and Luca gave each other an unsure glance. Rollo slammed his fist on the table.
I said, Mr. Tolliver!
He grabbed the table lamp and beamed it onto the unconscious face. Mr. Tolliver groaned and slowly lifted his head. He recoiled with a muddled, weary squint.
What in the world?
The chair wobbled as he attempted to straighten up.
Who? Who's there?
Mr. Tolliver could only make out rough shapes through the glaring light. With a gruff tone, Rollo hoped to both conceal his voice and intimidate.
I'll be asking the questions here, punk. Now hold on, let's just calm down. Oh, I am calm. Calm as a carrot in dirt. As for you, looks like you're sweating.
The doubtful expression on Beck and Luca's faces transformed into awe.
We can do this my way, or let's just say I've never needed another way.
Rollo, hitting his stride, was now channeling every detective trope his memory could recall. He slammed the table again.
Now dance! What? I don't even...
Mr. Tolliver's voice became desperate. He was nearly in tears.
You've tied me down. How on earth can I dance? Dance with your mouth, punk. Spill the beans. What are you doing poking around this house? I'm here to help Juniper. To make sure everything's ready. Oh, so you're in cahoots with Gran. Gran?
Mr. Tolliver was in a daze, now more confused than ever.
Gonna help her blow up the festival, eh? Blow up the festival? Good Lord.
He shook his head, feeling more and more dizzy.
No, you got it all wrong. Where is she now? She's headed to the source. Source? What's the source? It's where...
His voice faded to a whisper.
It's where the town began. Where it all began. What is Operation Sparkplug?
With that, Mr. Tolliver passed out cold. Rollo swung around with a repentant grimace.
Damn, Rollo. I think you went a little too hard on him. What did he say about the source? It's where the town began? We need more information. Yeah, but we better not push Mr. Tolliver any further. Is there anyone else who might know more? What about the History Museum? It just got set up for the festival. Nah, that tent was put up by the Valentines. Everything they do is just a bunch of floof to glorify themselves. Is there anything more reliable? The library. If there's any information about this source thing, Cato can help us find it. Let's go get some answers. Thank you for fast traveling us there. This is a dang nice library. Thanks, we work hard on it. Aren't you a little too adorable to be a librarian? Oh, Kato hung out here so much eventually we gave me a set of keys. I just keep an eye on the place for Mrs. Novak sometimes. They got you working for free? It's quiet and I get access to all the books I can read. What more could a person want? Fair enough. What can I do for you all? We need a favor. I already told you and Rollo. I can't put you any higher on the wait list for the next Hank Atomic. And if you're here with more candy, I'll have you know I can't be bought. Call it a personal code of conscience. Actually, we're looking to do some research. Now you're speaking my language. What are you looking for? That's the thing, we sorta don't know. What do you got on the history of town? There's this county record there's the county record archives. What's in those? Births, deaths, newspapers, clippings, stuff like that. Pretty boring reading. But they do go all the way back to when the town was founded. Great, we'll start there.
Chapter 8. 6 feet under, 3 towns over. The kids spent the rest of the afternoon combing through dusty piles of old county records, desperately searching for anything that could help them make sense of Mr. Tolliver's cryptic utterance. Luca tried to shake the thought of Gran's basement, but his focus wavered. Explosives, messages hidden in jam, dossiers on various town figures, and a corkboard threaded with photos. Gran was the only family he had left. He still couldn't bring himself to believe the worst. But the old map with the symbol of explosives in town square made that difficult. As the sun began to set, the kids were no closer to the truth.
If I have to read any more records, my eyeballs are gonna pop. We have to keep digging. If I dig another word, I'm gonna end up in one of those asinine death records. Rollo Cotter lived a full and wonderful life, till he read so much boring crud that his brain oozed out of his ears.
Rollo shut his book with an assertive nod.
If you got a better idea, spit it out. You sound like my sister. Keep pushing your luck, pal. And it won't be boring county records that kill you. I'll put you in the obituaries myself.
Rollo muttered under his breath.
You're a county record. Really? That's the best you've got? When I'm done with you, you'll be the footnote in history. Just like...
Beck slammed her finger down on the open page before glancing down to read.
J. Hartford here. I'd love to see you try. Hey! We're all a little tired here. Let's just take a minute and...
Something tickled the back of Luca's mind.
Wait, what was that name, Beck? Oh, in the obit? J. Hartford. From the Brookfield Tribune 8 years ago. That can't be right. What is it? J. Hartford. That's my Gran's name. Juniper Hartford. Maybe there are 2 J. Hartfords? Mrs. Hartford is survived by her young daughter, E. Hartford. My mom's name is Eleanor. Okay, this is getting creepy. If your Gran is 6 feet under, 3 towns over, then who am I living with?
The question hung in the air.
Alright, gang, I gotta close up for the night.
Beck rubbed her eyes.
How late is it? Almost 10. Oh crap, Pa's gonna kill me. I gotta go. Yeah, my parents will be worried sick. Okay, let's meet up as early as we can at the festival tomorrow. What are we gonna do about the unconscious man in your basement? I'll think of something.
Luca's heart was pounding as he approached the house. If he was lucky, Gran, or whoever it was, hadn't gotten back yet. And of course, there was Mr. Tolliver tied up and unconscious in the basement. Dealing with him would be the first order of business. Luca shook out his arms to calm his nerves before entering. He held perfectly still, tempering his breath, and listened closely. She was asleep. His only hope was that she hadn't found Mr. Tolliver before dozing off.
Just make all the noise. No. Oh no.
Mr. Tolliver was nowhere to be seen.
Maybe he woke up, escaped from his bindings, and left without a trace?
Or maybe Gran knew everything.
What do I do?
Luca's hungry stomach groaned. Not realizing it, he'd gone the entire day without eating.
Okay, I can figure this out. I just need a little brain food.
Luca rushed over to the pile of jam jars, unscrewed one, and shoveled a handful into his mouth.
I'm afraid your jam delivery will be delayed.
He flipped the lid to read the label.
Mr. Nuncreed. Okay, now I can think. So if Gran knows we tied up Mr. Tolliver, I'm screwed. If she doesn't know, then I need to play it cool. I guess the only option is to go to bed and act as if nothing is wrong. Gran will think Mr. Tolliver finished what he was sent to do and left when he was done. Go to sleep. She's gonna be at the top of the stairs. And she's gone. Gran? Okay, stick to the plan. Go to bed and play it cool. I'm not in control.
As Luca climbed the final stair, the emotion of the day dragged heavily on him. With each consecutive step, his legs weakened. His stride began to falter. He tried to grab for the railing to steady himself. Something was wrong.
Come on, legs. Just a few more steps.
Luca groaned and tried to move.
She drugged the jam.
His limbs might as well have been bolted to the ground.
She drugged Mr. Nuncreed's jam. Because he's a fucking asshole. Oh my god, you just killed a child.
Through numb lips, he mumbled just before falling asleep.
The germ. Sweet boy. What did you get yourself into? Weird sound of dragging. Rest now and let me handle everything. Just lays him face down in his bed.
Chapter 9. A speech to end all speeches.
Oh man, we actually get to see the speech. Dang.
Luca awoke to find himself face down in bed. He moaned into his pillow. Why would Gran drug him?
She didn't. She drugged Nuncreed.
Or rather, why was she trying to drug Mr. Nuncreed?
So he wouldn't get in the way.
Shaking the questions from his woozy head, Luca snapped back to the matter at hand.
The festival! No fancy clothes. No Gran. Is this still open? Oh my god. So she knows. What is that word? Obviously. Jesus. Okay. You know what? Hold on. They mentioned the bushes, so just making sure I don't see anything like hidden in there. No reason to go say hi to Dad anymore. Not that Luca knows that. Where have you been? Gran put something in the jam. Yeah, we know. Secret messages for secret conspirators. Not this one. It was intended for Mr. Nuncreed. Put me to sleep. Whoa, Sly devil. Sly. I think she's trying to remove him from the equation. He might be in danger. Have you found anything? We looked around but haven't seen anything odd. Your Gran is nowhere to be found. But Mr. Nuncreed is loafing around waiting for the speech. What speech? Mayor Gus just put up the podium. Everyone is gathering at the stage. Let's get moving.
Augustus Valentine nervously wiped his brow.
Ahem. Hello, Beacon Pines. I'm Augustus Valentine, your mayor, and I suppose you already know that. Yes, before we get started, I just wanted, to take a moment to recognize someone who couldn't be here today. This town wouldn't be where it is today without my father, Sharper Valentine. So I thought we could begin with a round of applause benefiting such a great man. So enthusiastic. Even that's more than the old codger deserved.
Gus cleared his throat and awkwardly loosened his tie.
Right, where was I?
William Kerr bounded on the stage with the energy of a preacher at a big tent revival.
Gus Valentine, everyone.
He gave Gus a hearty slap on the back and motioned him off the stage.
Let's hear it for our mayor. What a great turnout. Oh, heck, I didn't prepare anything. But I suppose I could say a few words. Would be a shame to waste such a beautiful podium.
Mr. Kerr pulled a thick stack of note cards out from his vest.
Community, conviction, commitment. These are the things we celebrate at Perennial Harvest. For us, these are the pillars of the bridge to a better tomorrow. But I think it's time to add a new pillar. Change. Change is a powerful thing. It's I don't know how to say that. Inexorable? It's inexorable, unavoidable, and undeniable. And I need to stop yawning. I am dadgum thankful for it. Change is the reason we're all here together today. It's hard for me to believe that it was only 4 years ago when fate brought me here. A simple business trip which brought me to a small town which would change my life forever.
Mr. Kerr took a moment to survey the crowd.
You know what?
He wiped away a single tear.
From the second I set foot in Beacon Pines, something about this place has held me captive. You see, change represents opportunity. It represents potential. It was change that helped me recognize the potential of this place. To see that people of this town, despite suffering great loss, still held on to the things that made them special.
He thumped the podium to emphasize each word.
Community, conviction, commitment, change.
Mr. Kerr nodded confidently, biting his lip. The crowd was silent, in rapt attention.
Fate made a perfect match that day. Nothing is more important to you all than community. and perennial harvest is a community first and foremost.
Mr. Kerr methodically made eye contact with each section of the crowd.
The only way you made it through the fell harvest was unshakable conviction. A conviction that a better tomorrow was just over the horizon. Perennial harvest was founded on the conviction that we are that horizon. The festival is a symbol of our commitment to each other.
His voice began to build to a crescendo.
We now walk hand in hand into a future we will shape together. And that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I am tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? Just imagine what we can accomplish. What was that?
The crowd began to look around nervously.
Don't worry. A little thunder isn't going to ruin this day. Everyone remain calm.
Mr. Kerr quickly flicked through his note cards.
Where was I? Through all my travels, I have learned one true thing. One always reaps what they sow. We have all planted a lot of good in this town. And so it is with a happy heart I can proclaim...
He raised his hands up to the heavens.
Our harvest awaits. And everybody is insta-dead.
At that moment, a merciless wall of impossibly cold air ripped through the crowd, instantly freezing everyone and everything it touched. For a man like William Kerr, this was a fitting way for things to end. On a stage, with an entire town frozen in rapt attention for the rest of time. The end. There's that ice again! Whenever I think we're getting close, it comes along and ruins everything! Maybe we should just quit? Maybe you should just close the book, walk away, and never think of me again. No, I don't mean that. We got a little closer this time. We just need to try again. Please.
Alright. Ooh. Okay, so we have 2 more choices now. Pretty sure we are... Oh, okay. There is another branch we haven't gotten to yet. Okay, so we can no longer... This looks like 3 more paths have opened up for us. This one has 1 path. These 2 are definitively finished. This one here has another path. And the rest is... Yeah, okay. I feel like Sly is the one we need.
They'd run the classic good cop, sly cop interrogation. Luca and Rollo ducked behind a barrel, leaving Beck to her task.
Oh, so Chill Cop must be...
With a few crisp snaps, she roused Mr. Tolliver.
What? What's going on here? You're that Moodwill girl. Please, call me back. Sorry about all this.
Mr. Tolliver looked down and shifted a bit, testing his restraints.
It seems there's been a mix-up. You see, I'm down here for the same reason you are. Juniper sent you here?
Beck caught herself before letting the surprise manifest on her face. She'd already gotten him to reveal his relation to Gran. This was gonna be easy.
You know how Juniper is with her precautions. Operation Sparkplug has us all on edge. I guess she thought you needed some backup. But she sent a child? What better way to avoid prying eyes? Who would suspect a kid? I suppose that makes sense.
Mr. Tolliver wriggled a bit in his restraints.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Beck quickly removed the ropes.
That had to be uncomfortable. A little, yeah. But you understand. We never know who to trust in this town.
Mr. Tolliver rubbed the growing knot on his forehead.
Very, very true. So it turns out we're both here to...
Beck twirled her hand, as if to prompt Mr. Tolliver to finish her thought.
destroy the evidence.
Beck shook her head and clicked her tongue.
Yep, the old gal is nothing if not thorough.
Mr. Tolliver let out an amused huff in agreement.
She sure is. Can't blame her, though. If anyone were to find out that we're going to destroy the source, well, we both know how bad that might be. No one will know anything once I finish cleaning things up down here.
Beck was on a roll now, playing Mr. Tolliver like a fiddle.
You sure you can finish this up on your own? Juniper trusted me for a reason. You can leave the rest to me. Good. There is one more loose end I'll go work on. Loose end? Oh, it's nothing, really. The other day I had the radio on a scan while restocking the candy shelf. And wouldn't you know it, I intercepted the odd phrase in the perennial harvest transmission. Underground secrets. That's ominous. I think it might be a password, but Juniper dismissed it. Said it wasn't mission critical. What's the password for? We don't know. So we have a password and nowhere to put it. It's gotta mean something, right? Good thinking. You should probably go work that out. I've got this under control. That's a relief. Between you and me, this basement gives me the willies.
Heading for the stairs, Mr. Tolliver hesitated and turned to Beck with a puzzled look. She grinned and gave him a peppy wave. With a shrug, he continued up the stairs, whistling a jaunty tune.
You guys catch that? Sure did. This whole time Mr. Tolliver's had a candy shelf, but all he ever sells us is apples.
Beck blinked slowly in disappointment.
The password, Rollo. Well, sure, but once things are back to normal, I'll be having a word with Mr. Tolliver about that candy shelf. Fine. In the meantime, I've got an idea.
She turned to the table and began tearing small scraps of paper.
He said he heard a password on the radio. Any good spy transmission is never what it seems.
Beck marked each scrap of paper and leaned back.
We just need to find the hidden meaning. Okay. What's another word for underground? Buried? Covered? Could it be cover up? Maybe it's one of those each letter is a number thingies? So U would be 21, N would be 14, D would be... Oh! It's an anagram. Nuncreed's drugstore.
Luca and Beck looked at Rollo with amazement.
Rollo, that was incredible. Well, it's either that or Kren's new drugstore. Yeah, I think you were right the first time. How did you do that? What can I say? I love ciphers. Well, I guess we know where to go next. Investigate the drugstore. It's already nighttime. You scared me half to death. Sorry. You kids haven't seen Mr. Tolliver around, have you? Nope. He's got me waiting around like the last slice of pie. I swear that man would be late to his own funeral. Alright, we can't go into the bushes. Y'all are in my way. Can't act cool. I wonder if there's an achievement if you just lean on it for a long period of time. Probably gonna have to look that up. You're late, Augustus. Sorry, sis. Was caught up with work. Work? You? I had a few more details locked down for the festival. Oh, what do you have to report? What is this Insipid Town Festival really about? I think
Gus looked around nervously.
Mr. Kerr really just does want to do something good for the town. He's actually a pretty nice guy. You should spend more time with him. I didn't pull strings installing you as mayor so that you can make friends. Your job is to help me figure out what Kerr and Perennial Harvest's true intentions are with this town. We have a responsibility. This is our father's town. Was. Excuse me? This was our father's town. He's gone, Eris, and he isn't coming back. Father left us with nothing but problems. Mr. Kerr came here and offered to help us. We accepted that help. We didn't agree to them turning Father's warehouse into a toxic dumping ground. That is a temporary arrangement. The glow can be seen from our damn backyard. They're dumping their nasty little secrets on us. When all this inevitably goes wrong, who do you think will be blamed?
Eris's cry hung in the air.
We have a new choice to make now, sister. This town is going to change whether we like it or not. Are we going to choose to be part of that future? Or be forgotten in the past? It's a shame. Father named you Augustus, but you will always just be a Gus. Good night, Eris. I'll see you at breakfast tomorrow. It's getting late, children. Beep, 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 bop, bop. Thank you for joining me as I played Beacon Pines by Hiding Spot. The next episode will be out shortly. If you enjoyed what you saw, please leave a like, a follow, and ring that notification bell so you know when a new episode drops. Also, don't forget to check out the link to the completely free Discord server to chat about games and whatever else is on your mind. Let's keep the comments chill, so no hate or spoilers, as I'm not above removing those comments and the people who make them. That's all for now, folks, and I'll see you next time.